What's up everybody, and welcome to the review for Shadwen, brought to you by KeenGamer.com, the best place to check out your news, articles, reviews, and so much more. Now let's get to the review, shall we? The story is about an assassin named Shadwen on her quest to kill the king. As she was on her travels, she sees a little girl named Lily about to get killed by a guard. She saves her, but is not forced to keep her by her side because she thinks that Lily will tell a guard on her. And that's pretty much the basis for the story. Unfortunately, the only part of story development we'll see throughout the game is through the loading screens for the next area. This is kind of unfortunate because I really like to see what we saw in the beginning of the game with these still frames of, you know, what's going on with the story, but to just hear them talk in the loading screens was kind of a letdown. Moving on to the most important part of the game, which is the gameplay. Now, Shadwen is a stealth game, which means you'll basically go around and kill guards, hide their bodies, use things in your environment to draw them towards you so you can kill them, use items to craft to distract or either kill them. There's just so much to do in the game in terms of variety that it really is a fun stealth game. Let's talk about how the items work in the game. Now, there are three main items you'll be using throughout your entire adventure if you so choose to either distract the guards or kill them. The first item is a trip mine, which is when they get near it, it'll explode. The second one is a poison dart launcher, which is pretty much when they pass it, it'll shoot a dart and kill them. And the third one is a distractor, where you throw this ball out, it makes a noise, and it makes it so that they come towards it. Now, as you can tell from the item menu, it looked like there were more items than one, but those are basically the same three variations as the items I described, just in different formations. Also, one really important thing to note while playing Shadwen is that everything is in real time, as in when your character stops, the whole game stops, which means you can look around you and plan things, and until you move again, then the game resumes. This is a really cool tactic because it makes for a lot of strategies you can create. And also, if something really bad happens or nothing goes as planned, you can rewind time. So you can do it all over again, just in case you mess up. What you'll be basically doing for the entirety of Shadwen is transporting Lily around, which basically does nothing because all Lily does is she runs around into bushes and hides. And there's no real threat or anything to worry about with Lily in the game. You just have to clear the enemies or move on stealthily so that you and Lily can beat the level. But with that in mind, that's all Shadwen is. It's just basically going into new areas of the game, and just there's more guards and more things to do in terms of distracting or new heights you have to go to get around them. And that's the entirety of Shadwen. It's just stealthing around, killing guards or not killing them, and getting to your destination. There's also a cool mechanic in the game where you can use this rope of sorts to either pull you into new heights, or you can use it to distract the guards. Now, this is really nice to getting up high so you can see what's going on around you, and it's just kind of fun to swing around. The best use for it that I've seen is to distract the guards, especially.
Was there someone just now? Where did you see it? Over there. I see nothing there. I think I heard something. What is this devil?
So you're probably wondering, what's the point of Lily, this little girl we're seeing on screen sometimes? Well, Lily, she actually has no use in the game. It's not like anything bad happens to you if she gets caught, which she never does. She's really good at hiding and running around, but she alternatively has no use to the game. In fact, I don't even know why she's in the game. This game could have been solved without her, and it would have just been a, go around and kill people game. But yeah, Lily is just there, honestly, and it affects the story if you kill guards in front of her. You can choose not to kill the guards in front of her and it'll affect the story, but not in any obvious ways that you would think. In terms of like playing through the level, she won't act any different than she did the last level.
I heard something.
Moving on to the graphics of the game. The graphics in the game are pretty good, but honestly you'll be seeing the same a lot in terms of coloring. For instance, the game is very centered around the color purple, as you'll be seeing that a lot in the game, which isn't a bad thing at all. I'm just saying you'll be seeing it a lot, like for the entirety of the game. Just, you know, you'll see some fire and a shade of black and then that purple, and that's like the main theme of the game. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, it's just, you know, you're not going to be seeing much, honestly. Last but not least, let's talk about the sound for the game. Now, for a stealth genre, sound is very important because you have to hear when a guard finds out about you, because then you have to quickly react and deal with the situation. So in terms of sound, the game doesn't really have a lot of music going on, or at least it's forgettable to say the least. But in terms of sound design, you know, it's whatever, honestly. It's not really anything that's too important. It's just vital that you hear the guards when they accidentally spot you or think that they heard something. In conclusion, Shadwen is a fun stealth game that, while it can get a little repetitive later, it's still fun to play for a while, especially in terms of using items to your advantage, just stabbing people in the back, dragging them in bushes. It's all good fun. Be sure to check out KeenGamer.com, best place to check out your news, articles, reviews, and much more.